Hey guys, we're going to do some fun stuff today. Found online a couple of the different Dakota forums and whatnot, a guy parting out a 2002 Dodge Dakota RT with the overhead trip computer with the I forget what this is called, for garage door openers. Wow, I can't, anyways, so I picked that up, and while I was at it, I asked if he could get, the mounting bracket for it, and the wiring harness, and the auto dimming rearview mirror, and he was cool enough to pull it out and send me all this. So, a little background: if you have the overhead console that just has the clip, you can get, depending on your year model, wiring these in are going to be a little different, but for 2001 to 2004, Home Link, that's what it's called, Home Link. Anyways, 2001 2004 used the same one-wire bus system. I believe 2000 to 96 or maybe 97 use the twisted pair CCD communication on their CTM, but this only has to do with hooking up overhead consoles with 2001 to 2004, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that, along with the auto dimming rearview mirror, which is nice. But this will probably, if I wasn't videoing it, I figure I'll probably have it done in about 30 minutes, but I want to take you through and show you what I'm going to remove and what I'm going to do with this wiring harness. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the just the Molex plug that I need for the trip computer and lights, and then the Molex that I need for the auto dimming rear view mirror, and that is, I believe, this guy right here and these two guys. So I'll trace these wires back and get rid of all the extra stuff, and that way it'll be a little easier to manhandle these. But let me go ahead and get my tripod, and I'll get you set up to where you can watch how I can disassemble my existing console. Alright, see you in a minute. Alright, here we are in my truck, and mine is a 2001 Dodge Dakota that came with the overhead console with the sunglass holder and the makeshift garage door opener. What you could do with these is mount this up inside of here, like with some Velcro, and then you got some peg style connectors. This one doesn't have it, of course, because it's used, but you would put them in here to where it would line up and push your open button whenever you depress that. So instead of going that route, I just found a wrecked Dakota and had them send me the trip computer. So what we're going to do to remove this is, you should have one Phillips head screw inside of here. It may be a Torx head. Mine is actually missing, so this is going to be a lot easier. But once you remove that screw, basically it just has a series of clips. I think two, maybe here and here on this side, and then on the other side. Let me see if I can get you set up. Basically what I'm going to do is just get my fingers up under here and just kind of pull down, and those clips should release. There we go. And you'll have a wire connector back here for your lights. Should just be able to push down on this tab and pull it out, and this pulls away. Here you can see where the clips are. Looks like this only actually had two. One on this side and one over here. So I'll go ahead and set that to the side. Now what you've got is your mounting bracket, which is right here. It looks like looks like there are two 8mm bolts holding this in, but before we take those out, you'll notice that our headliner is in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and get the tools for this and the tools to take our pillars off. I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got two 8mm bolts here, but you'll notice in order to get this mount out, it overlaps our headliner, and I really don't feel like pulling the entire headliner down, so I'm going to try to cheat and get the front of this headliner down enough to where once I get this unbolted, I can slide it out through the front. And I'll go ahead and take this rearview mirror off so I have enough room to slide it out. And these are typically Phillips head screws that hold them down in the bottom here. Sometimes you'll find some with Torx or hex head, but luckily this one looks like a Phillips. So I'll go ahead and unscrew it. And the way it works is once you get it, loose, I'm going to go ahead and take this whole screw out. But once you get it loose, what happens is you should be able to slide it up off of its mount. And this one's actually kind of nice because this one is a pewter or maybe even an aluminum mount instead of some of the plastic ones I've seen in the past. Okay, so that's out of our way. Now you'll notice we have our visors in our way, so let's go ahead and take these out. I'm going to start with the driver's side. Over here you have two Phillips head screws right inside of here that you just need to remove, and this will slide out. Let's go ahead and disconnect it from here, and then I'll set you back up and get you positioned where you can see me work over there. Okay. Once those are out, I usually just leave my screws in here, and I'll set it to the side. And I'll get this other side here in a second, but what I want to show you is now that we've done that, how do we get this visor clip out? There's no apparent screws, and it's not like it untwists. Okay, the way we get this out, the way it's built, well, from what my service manual tells me, is that this outer shell should pull down, and what it does is it compresses and pushes this inner portion like a rod up inside of here that holds this all up. So what we're going to want to do is try, yeah, there we go, it's starting to come down. I've got a screwdriver just in case it fought me some. It's a little stiff. Okay, that seems about as far as that's going to go. So what it says you should be able to do is just firmly pull it down and out. Oh, there we go. Alright. So now you can get an idea of how it works. Basically, when this is pushed up like that, it helps this compress against the mounting hole in here. And that seems to start to give me a little bit more play. So I'm going to set this aside. And now, let's take our handles off. And the way these come off is you'll notice these little, the sun will stop blowing out the picture. There we go, that's a little better. These little guys, you can get a little screwdriver and get it in there and just start to pull it out just like that, and it should just slide all the way out. And inside of there you've got what looks to be T30, maybe T25. So I'll go get that and get to pulling these out, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, and once you get the handles off, you know, in fact, I'll probably do another little video of how to remove these A-pillars. So, in order to remove the A-pillars, you remove your handles, and they have a T30 Torx screw, and covering them up is this little rubber grommet. It's pretty pliable. And once you get those done, you want to pull your weather stripping back, just like this. And then this just simply pops off. Right there. And then once you pop it loose, you just lift it out. And set that big guy aside. And that's how you remove your A-pillar. Alright. That should give us plenty of room. Yeah, I think that's going to be plenty. What do you think, guys? Yeah, I think that's going to be great. Because I'll be able to undo this, and this should be able to slide past here. Okay, let me set you up, and we'll get rolling. Alright. There we go. Okay. And these are 8mm. Okay. Set those up there so I don't lose them. And it looks like once those are removed, should be able to slide right out. Let's get our wiring harness out of the way. There we go. Okay. Easy as pie. Now, it looks like they had some double-sided tape right there to help hold it up on the back side. So on that new mount, I'll put some new tape on and get that set up. Alright, so looks like alright. I'm going to go handle my wiring harness, get that all cleaned up, and I'll be back with you here in a minute. Alright, I got the wiring harness cleaned up. As you can see, I've fed all my wire behind the headliner, and I've got it coming out right here. This is the leftover Molex plug from my original overhead. The only thing I don't like about doing this swap is, in order to get the trip computer to fit, you have to cut out your headliner, which, you know, it's not too bad. You know, just take your time. I mean, you can see where the razor blade kind of slipped, but the overhead console covers this, so I'm not too worried about it. And back here with these compression clips for the back side of the overhead, I had to cut some away, and I left that there just to kind of give it a tighter fit once it goes up in there. So we'll see how that does. Now all that is left is wiring these in, and there's a couple of nice photo tutorials on how to splice these into your existing ones, so I'm going to go ahead and grab those. I know 2 of the wires off my existing I can use, you know, pink to red, yellow to yellow for power and courtesy light, but the rest of them over here will be for the trip computer and the bus system to gauge miles per hour and whatnot. And then for the rear view mirror, we've got another set of wires that will hook in, and those have to do with power and then reverse switch. So what it'll do, when you put your vehicle into reverse, it'll turn off the auto dim feature so you can see behind you. But there you go. I've got the mounting bracket up in there. It is definitely a little bit bigger. As I said, you had to cut these out. So I'm going to go find the info on which wires go to which, and then we'll go ahead and splice these in. I'm probably just going to use butt connectors. I'm not going to worry about soldering it. And then we'll hook it up, and I'll show you where the temperature sensor is on the front side of the engine. You can get one of those from any auto parts store for I think like 20 or 25 bucks. But anyways, I'll be back here in a minute after I get the wiring diagram. Alright, let's go ahead and get access to our central, our CTM, our central timer module. It's behind this driver's side kick panel. I'm going to pull up the door seal. You should be able to just grab it and just pull up. It's just held in there by clips. Go ahead and set that to the side. And then let me get you set up. Then our kick panel should just pull right out. There we go. Okay. What the hell is that? Oh, nice. Looks like I've got an aftermarket amp in here somewhere. Not the one that I installed. Okay, well, here is our central timer module right here. And these are the main wires that we're going to be tapping into. So what I want to do is I started feeding my wire down. Get a hold of those. Go ahead and just pull those on down here. Make sure I leave myself plenty of room to run it up the A-pillar. And I think that's going to be pretty darn good. Okay. So we got that. Okay, now what I'm going to do, since I've got CTM here, let's go ahead and, just for giggles, let's go ahead and disconnect the battery. Okay, I forgot to film this, but the existing Molex plug uses wires and splice into your harness that you got from your donor vehicle. Match up the wires, yellow to yellow, in this case pink to red, that's your power, then yellow with a violet stripe to yellow with a violet stripe. I cut the Molex off. I'm going to use butt connectors for now until I'm happy with the install, but once you connect these 3 wires, you can button everything up. Everything else is done at the CTM and some other places. I'll be right back with you. Okay, the first wire, after we feed it down our A pillar over here, down towards our central timer module, and we'll also need to get up in here for our dimmer switch, but you can just pull the kick panel off. There's a couple of Torx heads, bolts, and then this kick panel just pulls straight out. But what we're going to want to look for, first one I'm going to connect is the violet wire with the yellow stripe, and that one appears to be in this top Molex plug in our CTM. So there should just be a push right here. You can, it came out pretty easy. Okay. There we go. Huh. Okay. Alright. Where did I see it? Ah, there it is. Right there. I'm going to go ahead and cut this back so we can get a little bit better angle on it. And like I said before, I'm going to go ahead and just use some butt connectors just for the time being to make sure it all works. Temperature sensor works and all that fun stuff. Let's go ahead and take that off. And just push that back. Boy, nothing like dealing with 12-year-old electrical tape. Okay, once all that tape is back, you can see we've got pretty nice access to our wires. So I'm going to find the violet with the yellow stripe, and I think this is my guy right here. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut it right here, and just remember to make sure your battery is disconnected. You don't want to short any of this stuff out. And I have the Molex disconnected, so I mean, I'm not too worried about my CTM, but the sensors I'd be concerned about. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that wire routed right there, and I think that'll give us plenty. So I'll go ahead and cut that back. And just in case any of you are wondering, this violet with the yellow stripe is your PCI bus. That is the one, the main one that's going to feed data to our overhead console. Let us know miles per gallon, destination to empty, feed into the, I believe it also feeds into the temperature sensor. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this back, strip this back. Let's go a little bit further. And I'll take this one and I'll strip strip it back. And I'll wait to do that last one until I'm ready to finally connect the butt connectors. And I know my hand's kind of getting in the way, but I'm going to join these two and just use a blue butt connector. Later on, after I'm happy and I drive it for a week or two, I'll come back and solder these in and heat shrink them and do it right. But I don't want to go through all the trouble just to see that I have a blown trip computer, or something doesn't work right. Okay, once I've got that, once I've got the butt connector on there, I'm just going to go ahead and crimp it on. And there's nothing wrong with butt connectors like this. They work just fine. I've used them for years too, but I prefer to solder. Okay, that's done. So I'll take the other end and I'll strip this back. And mess up the wires there. Okay. Okay. Now place that inside there. Making sure I get it all the way up to the metal cylinder. Sorry, my hand's in the way. And then I'll just butt connect this. Okay, I'll come back and I'll give it a little bit of a tug. Make sure those are seated. Pretty happy with that. And I'll come back and I'll electrical tape that. Okay, now, the next wire is going to be this black green one, and that needs to be grounded. This is your ground wire, so I think, see if I can find a decent ground screw. Let me go ahead and take these other Molex plugs out, because I think there's a ground wire behind here. Yeah, it looks like there's one down here. This big guy right here. You know what I can do? I'm just going to tap into this green black right here. Yeah, this is perfect. I'll cut this back just a little bit. And that's one of the main reasons I searched online for a wrecked Dakota that had the overhead console computer, just so I could ask the guy to get me the wiring harness from it, because the basically it's match the colors up and connect them. That's it. I mean, there's no guessing at it. As you can see, how well my my camera is picking it up. But my next wire, the black with the green stripe, is going to go directly to this and the wiring harness, the one with the black with the green stripe. So I'll go ahead and cut this, and so give myself some room. Let's go down to right here. I'll strip this back. And then I'll strip this one back. Okay. Go ahead and twist them together. And then I'll grab a butt connector. Push that in there. And I'll go ahead and crimp them. Give it a little bit of a tug. We're good. Now I'm going to splice this one. Pull the rest of it off. Push it up in there. There we go. Give it a little tug, make sure we're good. Yeah. Okay, takes care of my ground. Sounds like we got a visitor. I'll be right back. Okay, now this blue wire with the white stripe, sorry, goes to any power source that is energized when the key is in the run position. So, there is a fuse, number 18, in the fuse block on the side up here. That is for your radio. You can tap into that, just put a spade connector in the fuse, slide the fuse in, and it'll be energized when the radio comes on. So I'm just going to put a butt connector on this one. I think the hardest part of these jobs is just connecting the wires and finding a comfortable position to sit in. You want sitting on your knees sucks. Alright. Put that guy in there. I'm thinking when I come back and I solder these in, I'll probably check one of these leads to see if they're energized when there's power on, but that takes care of that. The last one is our orange one. And that is not too terribly difficult. The reason we took the kick panel off is because we had to get behind the fuse block here. And there is a blue Molex plug that goes right here, right up in there, that I unplugged, because this has our orange wire that we want to connect to. So I unplugged it from the back of the fuse panel and pulled it down just so I could have access to an orange lead, and basically any of these leads will work for the dimmer switch, so I'm not too particular I think shouldn't really matter. You can choose any of these orange ones, so I'm just going to take the one that's easiest to get to here on the outside. Go with that, and route my wire back up in here and just butt connect it right there. So let me go ahead and cut this guy. Push that down in there. Let's make sure we gotta give it a little tug. Okay. Let's go ahead and strip this one back. Push that down in there. And then let's go ahead and crimp it. Give it a little tug, make sure it's good. And I can come back and tape that up after I solder it, so I'm going to go ahead and plug that back in since that's set. And I'm going to go ahead and plug our central timer module down in back here. Then after I'm happy with everything and I come back and solder, I'll go ahead and tape all this, but with this connected, our overhead module should now work. There we go. Now let's make sure our dimmer, yep, there's our dimmer. Perfect. And let's go ahead and step through it. Okay, there's our compass and our temperature gauge. Interesting. I think there's a process for initializing that temperature gauge. Let me look that up and I'll be right back. I'm going to look it up in the service manual. I think it's a series of hitting buttons. I'll be right back. Alright, I wanted to get a shot. It's getting kind of dark. I wanted to get a shot of how these visor clips go back in. As you can see, they look like this once you remove them. Leave them extended like this, and then when you push them in, all you do is let's get another shot of that. Push them in just like that, and then you just seat them up in there. And that's it. Alright, I'm gonna finish buttoning this stuff up. You know, putting my visors back on. They just simply fit up in there, and you screw them back in. Putting the trim back on. And then I'll give a walkthrough of how to reset the temperature sensor and where the temperature sensor is located at. But I'll be back here shortly. Okay, and for the final part of this video is the temperature sensor. This thing actually sits back and bolts right there, but the sensor I got from the guy online was broken, so I've just got it mounted right here. You should have the wire connector, and it just plugs into there. It typically mounts up like that on this radiator frame support. I'll probably get a new one and do a video of replacing it, but once that's in place and you've got everything inside buttoned up, it's time to program the home link and calibrate the compass and temperature sensor. So let's do that. Let's go back inside. Okay, now finally, after everything is installed, I'm pretty happy with it. Came out pretty good. No complaints so far. So basically, let's set our home link. The best thing to do, especially if you bought it aftermarket, is let's go ahead and reset the home links system. So you hold the two outer buttons for about 20 seconds, and you'll see the two little dots in there underneath the home icon. You hold the two outer buttons until those start to flash, and we should see it. There we go. Okay, so now the home link system's been cleared and reset. You don't have to do that, but I'm just doing it as a courtesy from the guy I bought it from. I don't know what he had this programmed as, but to program it, get you a good shot. If you have after you've cleared it, and if you have just a standard garage door opener, anything that was, I think, built before 95 or 97, you can program your home link with a remote. And the way that is done is you basically choose the button you want to be your garage door or whatever, hold it down, and you'll see this start to blink slowly. Then you take your garage door opener about 2 to 3 inches away and hold the button and wait for it to rapidly blink, and then release both of them. Once you do that, this should be programmed at that point. In my case, my garage door opener was replaced, I guess I replaced it about 2 or 3 years ago, and it has one of those multi-scan, I forget what it's called, but basically what I have to do is I'll have to go up there and push the train program on the garage door opener, but you can tell that the home link is communicating with it. If you can see, when I push the button on my home link, you'll see a little red light going off. I hope my camera can get that. Yeah. You'll see a little red light going off on the garage door opener itself. So there is communication going on between the two. I just need to hit the train button on that. And basically what you have to do is hit the train button on that, come out here, hold this down, and as the two talk, this will finally activate the open or close on the door, and then it's programmed. You're done. Forget it. And same thing for the other two buttons. If you have in-laws that you go to, or whatever. But that's how you program that. And shoot, I think that about does it. There, I thought there was a recalibration for the temperature sensor, but I could not find anything. I'm going to dig through my service manual a little bit further. I'll come back and let you know what I find. Be right back. Alright, I just took it for a test drive, and temperature sensor is still not working, but the compass is working great. If you ever have to calibrate this, what you can do is just go to an empty parking lot and drive in a figure 8, or if you have a 2001 or up, I suppose. I know for 2001, 02, 03, and I believe 04, you just basically drive it around and the trip computer will calibrate itself. As far as the temperature goes, I'm not really too worried about it. Everything else seemed to work great. The instant economy, odometer, trip time, I don't really care about that. Average seemed to do pretty good. Destination to empty, I'll have to watch that. That may be a little off. But for the most part, it seems to be working great. And I went ahead and did the reset on my garage door opener, and it is working now. I just had to push the learn button on the garage opener itself, and then come out here and push this button while the garage door opener was blinking red. Push this, and they finally talk to each other. But in any case, I'll probably do an update. I'm going to test that temperature sensor. It could be bad, considering it looks like it was broken off of the wrecked vehicle. It may be damaged, so I'll probably try to test it if I can, or I may just go ahead and spend the 20 or 25 bucks and order a new one. But I'm going to go ahead and watch this for the next couple of days, and I'll do an update on this video and let y'all know what I find out and what the deal is with that. But basically this video was about installing a overhead console with the trip computer. And I was lucky enough to find one with the home link in it, and it seems to be pretty cool. The lights work, everything is pretty good. Sunglass holder, it's kind of dark, but sunglass holder is back here. So anyways, I hope this helps, and I'll give an update after a couple of days of driving it, see how it does. But main point is I just jumped in it and took it for a spin, let this trip computer calibrate itself to my computer, since this came off of a different vehicle, and it seems to be working great. As far as the temperature sensor goes, there is no way to calibrate it. The only information in the service manual says that if you're when you first turn the vehicle on, the temperature will read the last known stored setting, and if your radiator fluid temperature is at or below 125 degrees Fahrenheit, you will get the last known stored temperature, and anything after that, it'll start to read the temperature live. But I'll give an update on this and let you guys know how it goes. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.